warm up. So from here, we're going to do what's called shaking gong. So we'll basically bend the knees and shake the arms and let those shoulders relax. This also helps to move the lymphatic fluids in our bodies. So we're kind of getting this all kind of warmed up and started. Y'all keep shaking. I want to put on see how much calories we burned today in this class. All right, keep shaking. Now let's bring the arms skyward. Keep bending the knees. Now you don't have to go the same speed I am, okay? It can be a little bit different. Now we're going to turn a little bit to the side, out to the side, back to the center, back over to the other side, back to the center. Very good. Keep the bounce going. Let's spin the wrists. Ooh, we're doing 2 things at once here, actually kind of 3 things. Both arms, both knees. So we're really working that brain a little bit when we do this. Now let's pause the wrists and reverse. Keep the bounce. My left one doesn't spin as well as my right one. That's one thing I've noticed with mine. Very good. From here, keep the bounce, and let's cup the hands and swing the arms. I'm going a little bit slower now. Lubricating those knees, those hip joints with this little bit of bendy knee business. Keep doing that. Now, if you're seated, what you can do with those feet is lift the heels up and down as you swing the arms, okay? So this is your variation for the seated. Now, you don't have to do the heels up and down. You can just keep the feet solid and just do the upper body movements. A couple more of those arm swings. Very good. Now from here, one arm forward, one arm back. So it's a little bit deeper knee bend or heel lifts if you can. Or you can keep those feet still, whether you're standing, whether you're seated today. All right, for those of us that are standing, maybe you can do out to the side. This would be kind of tough to do in the chair. Keep doing the forwards and backwards with the other one, or just the arm swings, okay? This lubricates the spine, helps kind of get a little range of motion in the neck and the shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. Very good. Let's come back to the center and let's one hand on top of the other and palm up and down. You can bend the knees too if you like. A slow little pump. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Switch the hands and up and down. Three, 2, and 1. Hands on the shoulders. Tap it out to the front. 1, 2, 3. Bend the knees. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Arms out to the sides. Squeeze those shoulders. Fist to the center and out and in. Here we go. Very good. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now keep the legs still. Let's do those shoulder rolls here. Ooh. Feel and hear what you feel. 1 more. And reverse. Here we go. Excellent. Oh my, shoulders getting warmed up there a little bit, or a whole lot, yeah? 3, 2, and 1. Now you can lift your knee, hands underneath the knee. If you're standing, you can be on the ball of the foot or lift the foot off the ground as we rotate the ankle inward. And you might feel a few snap, crackle, pops. So just notice if you feel stiffness on the top of the foot, around the ankle, little snap, crackle, pop sensation, and pause. And now let's rotate it outwards. Here we go. Again, you can be on the ball of the foot while you do this, or leg lifted in the air, whichever is best for you today. Ooh. 3, 2, and 1. Let's do the other side. Again, you have the option being on the ball of the foot, hand underneath the knee. If you're seated, lift the leg up and rotate inward. Very good. Oof. And again, notice this side versus the other side. Does it feel different? Is it a little stiffer? A little bit easier to do? 2 more. 2 and 1. Rotate, go the other way. Here we go. Ooh. Notice if it feels different when you go the other direction. It might. Mine typically do. 3, 2, and 1. Feet a little wider, knees softly bent, sitting up tall in the chair. Let's interlace the fingers towards the sky, reach up, and then bring it forward. Curve your spine to the back of the chair, back of the room, kind of like a standing cat posture. And then knees a little wider if you're seated in a chair. Those of us here standing, belly button tight, press down towards the floor. A little curvy spine. Again, if this is not feeling well for your body, don't do it, okay? Again, interlace the fingers up overhead, reach up. Might be challenging if you have those arthritic fingers, right? Might be like, ooh. And then press it forward, curve the spine. Very nice. And then down low. Very good. Now we're going to do fists on the hips, or you're grabbing the back of the chair. You got to scoot a little forward here. It's basically a standing back bend. So fists on the hips, and then you're taking your head looking where the wall meets the ceiling. Whether you're seated, whether you're standing, so standing back bend. So we did that forward bend with the cat. Now we're doing the back bend with the cat. Now we're doing the forward bend with fist on hips or on the side of the hips, and really bring the chest to where the wall meets the ceiling. Very good. From here, whether you're seated, whether you're standing, bring the feet together, hands on one side, and basically step side to side. And maybe if you're standing, you're bending the knees a little bit more. Little balance challenge. You can always hang on to the chair when you're doing this. Or not. So you're kind of moving that side body a little bit when you're going side to side. Let's do 2 more. 2 and 1. From here, cup the hands, sit up tall, stand up tall. Inhale, elbows up, spinal cord breathing. Exhale, curve the spine to the back of the chair, back of the room. Forearms together, chin towards the hands. And again, elbows up, breathe in. Exhale, curve the spine. Let's turn to the side next time. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale to the center. Other side, elbows up, breathe in. Open up those ones. Exhale, back to the center. Beautiful. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Let's do the finishing breath, and hands come down to heart center. Very good. Next, take hands on your collarbone, and let's stroke across. So we're incorporating the Qigong Detox with the Big 6 today. So we're stimulating, we're getting rid of the clogged up muck in those lymph nodes. You can also tap across. Let's do the other side. Stroke across above and below the collarbone. If you want more information about this, just look up Big 6, B-I-G number 6. Dr. Perry came up with that term for the 6 big common areas that we do to get that lymphatic flow going. Very good. Next is you make those kind of little Spock hands. And if you can't do Spock hands, just think about fingers in front of the ears, fingers behind the ears, and stroke down the side of the jawline, and then the side of the neck. And if you can, take your fingers kind of back here along the back of the head, cervical spine 1 and 2, and stroke it down. So, you know, when you go to the doctor and you're sick, they're always poking around your neck, this area, to see if anything is swollen, the lymph nodes, yeah? So again, let's kind of clear the muck out, shall we? You may feel extra sinus drainage after you do something like this. All right, let's do the other side. So here we go. We're doing the Big 6 lymphatic drainage. We're incorporating that in our Qigong Detox, in our chair yoga focus. Again, in front of the ear and back of the ear, on that jawline, down the side of the neck, and then you're kind of going at the back of the head too, a little bit too, okay? All right, very good. So this is area 1, the neck and the ears. Area 2. Area 3 is the armpits. So we're going to take that kind of right angle of the hand and press it into the armpit. And you've got the thumb here in our pectoral, so you kind of squeeze into the armpit. That's one variation. You can also slap into your armpit. It should be a pit, not a puff. A puff indicates inflammation. Or you can take the side of the fist, do a little tapping. So you kind of decide what's good for you here. Now I've got scar tissue from my heart surgery where they went in through my ribs. So I also pat my scar tissue to make sure I've got lymphatic flow going through where I've had that surgery site. All right, let's do the other side. So again, let's do that right angle, go into the pit. So again, this is where they check for, did cancer spread to the lymph nodes in this area if you've had breast cancer as a man or a woman. So yes, man can also get breast cancer. Again, if you want to do something a little different, you can rub and all that kind of stuff. Very good. Now find the kind of the bottom of your ribs. So that's where your diaphragm sits. It's kind of stuck up underneath the ribs. I like to kind of stroke across from the center out. Sometimes the diaphragm is very, very tight. And sometimes we don't feel like we can get a big enough breath. And then let's go ahead and chop or pat the waistline. Or this all, you know, the abdominal front side of our body. You can chop, you can do fists, you can play percussion. All right, the stomach, waist. Now I'm going to set my feet a little wide because we're going to chop the quad next. Feet a little wide seated on the chair. Where the leg enters into the torso, this area is the quad. So chop the quad. That's a Tai Chi naming convention. And you can alternate it. Again, this is the area where they check to see if cancer has shifted into this area. We have prostate cancer. So let's kind of get rid of that muck, shall we? Woo! And we're exercising our arms a little bit too. Mm-hmm. All right, bring those feet in. You may want to step them forward if you're seated in the chair. We're going to go in the back of the knee. Lots of lymph nodes in the back of the knee. So I'm going to tap the sides first. So that's for lessening knee pain. And then clap the hands. Put a little heat on the kneecaps. Switch that into cat claws. Get those acupressure points. And then let's take the hand back behind the bottom of the hamstring, the bend of the knee, and the top of the calf. That's for lessening edema and swelling in the feet. And using the sides of the thumbs, that also helps with lessening knee pain. So it's kind of a 2 for the price of 1 here. Very good. Clap the hands and just march in place. Again, if you need to hang on to the chair and march in place, that's good too. Then from here, let's bring a foot forward on the back of the heel. Now hang on to the chair. Bring your foot forward on the back of the heel. And then point the toe forward. So this is strengthening the ankles, which is good for having better balance. And let's point and flex. We do this in the chair Tai Chi where we rest the foot on the floor. But if you're standing, you know, the foot's probably going to be a little bit off the ground to do this. So that calf pump brings back blood supply from the lower extremities back to the heart. The calf pump is considered to be the second heart. Also helps to lower blood glucose when you do calf pumping. So yay, lots of good reasons for doing calf pumps. Yes? Yes. And switch. Let's do the other side. Rest on the back of the heel, toes towards you. Kind of feel it tightening there in the calf a little bit. This also helps to lessen leg cramps if you do these point and flexes every day. And let's do that. Point it away. Ooh, notice what you feel. And then let's do that point and flex. Here we go. Other side. This one feels more stiff than the other one. Do y'all notice that too? Maybe one side feels a little bit more stiff than the other. There's probably reasons for that, yeah? Very good. 2 more. 2 and 1. Very good. Let's place our hands on our thighs, knees wide, and look down at the floor. Hinge forward softly, safely. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let the belly be soft. Breathe in, belly soft. And exhaling, belly button tight a little bit. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's come back to a nice tall seated posture, standing posture, hands here Low on the belly, and let's breathe in, arms open out. And then exhale, bring them in. Tighten the belly a little bit. Let's do that again. Soft bend in the knees, by the way. Breathe in, arms out, belly out, and then exhale. One more. Breathe in, arms and belly out, and exhale. Very good. So next, we're going to assess our strength and balance ability before we get into the strengthening part of class. So I'm going to stand over here beside one of the chairs, and let me show the seated version first. So it's called Golden Rooster. So we're away from the back of the chair. Can you see me? Yeah, I guess you can. And then you're going to lift a leg up and the same side arm up. Now, if you're seated and you're finding some challenge here, you may have to have the hand back underneath and do the opposite elbow, okay? So you're noticing what's going on in that hip complex. Those of us standing, we're going to turn towards the side of the chair, bend the knees, take that tailbone, roll it under, bend the elbow up, bend the same side leg up, point the toe down. So again, you're noticing the ability to do this. It may need to be lower, just know that, depending on what's going on with you. And can you release the chair? Not too easily. I'm just wiggly all over. I'm feeling lots of spice in my upper behind and my hip crease here. And release. Woo! Shake it out. We got to lose that muscle memory before we do the other side. Go back over to the other side. Bend those knees. Tuck the tailbone under. So it's going to be the other arm and leg if you're seated, okay? Bend elbow up. Again, this is Golden Rooster. Bring that same side leg up if you're standing. Point the toe down. You're balancing on the leg closest to the chair. Pressing down on the top of the chair or releasing. Again, I'm super wiggly. This one's not as challenging on this side with how it feels in my body, but I already know I have a weakness on that right side. Woo! And release. Very good. So you may have noticed differences one side versus the other. It may be the same. Who knows, right? We're going to grab our yoga strap and our block and go on to the strengthening portion of class. Let me move this chair out of the way. We're going to sit in the chair. I guess some of this could be done seated, but I'm not sure how that would happen. But what we're going to do first, if you have a loop in your strap, don't undo it because we'll use that loop. Just kind of know we use the strap for building strength today, okay? And in this class on Friday. So I'm going to put that strap behind me. And I'm going to take my yoga block. I'm going to hike up my pants a little bit. Make it feel more comfortable. And I'm doing the medium width, not the skinny tall width, the medium width. Placing it in between the legs. And then I'm going to heel toe my feet in. They're all nice and straightened here. And I'm going to press my feet into the floor. I'm going to feel more activation when I press my feet into the floor and when I heel toe those feet in a little bit. Now, relax the feet. Don't press the feet into the floor, but still squeeze the block to where it's not going to fall out. Notice what you notice. Maybe you're not noticing anything. That's okay. And then tap both feet. Tap, tap, tap. And then put those tappy feet into the floor. Press them firmly. They may kind of scooch forward a little bit depending on, carpet, traction, that kind of thing. Squeeze the block, press the feet into the floor. You may notice some stuff going on here. Yes. So strengthening the hip complex, the glutes, is a key component for lessening the ability to fall. A lot of us, as we get older, go from maybe some behinds to flat behinds. So we need to build up the behind. We need to strengthen the gluteus maximus in order to have less ability to fall, okay? And release that. Yay. Woo! You may need to kind of pound side to side if that was kind of spicy for you today. Always keep it between the easy and ouch. If you don't like it, the pose, back off. Join us for the next one. All right, I'm going to take the block out to the side because this takes a little bit of a little doing here. I'm going to step into my strap here. I'm going to undo it a little bit. If you don't have a strap today, you can use your hands or you can use your TheraBand. You can tie a traditional shoelace bow. All right, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And I try not to have a twist in my strap. So from here, I don't know, I've got like about 4 fist widths different distance in my feet. So, you know, it's a little bit wider than where the hip bones are. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to tap my feet up and down, alternating them right now, and then press my feet into the floor. Now I'm pressing my feet into the floor, then pressing the legs to the opposite ends of the room. So not the inner thighs this time, but the outer portions of the legs, and a little bit different going into the behind area. Press down and away. Again, imagine there's a wrinkle here on the floor. We don't like wrinkles. So we're pressing down and on opposite ends of the room to smooth out that wrinkle. Woo! To strengthen the hip musculature. Oh yes. Strong hips, strong behind, quadriceps, hamstrings, gluteus muscles, strong calves, feet. Again, help you go up and down those stairs, help you to have less pain, help you to walk better. So yay, helps you to get up and off the toilet easier, I hope. And relax that. Oh yay, relaxing is the best. Now, we're going to shift this into clam posture, seated clam posture. So I'm going to take one of my feet and heel toe it in. And so I have the side of my foot into the foot that's firm into the floor. And again, we got a wrinkle somewhere here on the floor. So I'm going to place my hand on the stable leg or the static leg or whatever they call that, the leg that's not going to be doing the pushing out. And the other leg, I'm trying to push it towards the floor and release. Push and release. So there's a little pulsing going on here. Woo, a little spiciness going on here. This is a Pilates movement. It's called clamshell. We also do that in yoga classes, but it originated from Joseph Pilates' Controlology, which is an old movement system from, I think it's World War I, actually. And let's press and hold, hold. Now, what you can do is take that hand to the inside and press a little bit more. Now, if you don't have the strap, you have one hand on the outside, one hand on the other side, and you're pressing into both hands, okay? But it's worth getting a strap, a tie, a rope tie, something you can tie a knot. I use, the cat dog leash. That works too. Woo! And release, relax. Yay, that one's over, but not quite, right? Bring it back. Go back to that original position, pressing away, pressing into the floor. Maybe hands back behind you. Have a little poofy chest, little back bend going on here. It's just a teeny one. It's a little hand stabilization. Pressing into the floor, pressing to the opposite ends of the room. Hello, spicy behind. Anybody else besides me? Spicy behind? Okay. I'm starting to sweat, folks. Oh my gosh, okay. And release. Woo! You know what? If you want to, if you need to, pound your side of the body, pound your behind. I have to. What does that say about me? I need it. Okay, now we get to do the clamshell on the other side. So take the other foot, walk it in. Again, you're kissing the bottom of the foot into the side of the other foot. So you have this little kind of angle going on here. And you may have to move your behind, maybe move forward a little bit to make it feel a little bit better on the behind, okay? Now, press into the leg that's not going to move. Maybe the hand on the leg, press into the floor. And then take the other one, press it out. Hold it there for a moment. Maybe you're taking the hand to the inside and pressing. Maybe not. But then we're going to press into it and release a little bit. Press and release. Press and release. Don't forget to breathe. Press and release. 3 more. Press. Woo. Press. I don't know how to count. 1 more. Press and release. Hold, 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 hold. And release. Yay. Walk it out. Okay. 1 more set here. Pressing into the floor, pressing into the sides of the room, press into the floor. Maybe your hands go on your legs as you press. And don't forget to press opposite sides of the room, like you're trying to move the walls. Move the walls with your yoga strap. Maybe you take your hands to the inside and help it a little bit. Maybe not. and release. Yay, that part's over. Take your strap off. And then we're going to clap our hands, rub some circulation into the hands. Yes, indeedy. And like we do in our chair Tai Chi class, let's rub the shins, the calves, the legs. So here we go. The sides of the knees, the tops, the underside, the side of the leg, the underside of the other one, the side of the leg. And let's just kind of stomp those feet. And then up on the balls of the feet, wiggle them. Wiggle your hands too if you want to. Sometimes I can't wiggle my lower body without wiggling my upper body. Why not, right? And again, stomp the feet. Very good. Now we're going to do a little bit more for this spicy behind. Let's turn sideways on our chair. Now if you got arms on the chair, you may have to go at an angle and do this. Just know that, okay? So I'm sitting up tall here as best I can. I've got scoliosis, so sometimes it's a challenge, yeah. I'm going to take my booty off the chair, the one that's closest to you, and then bring the leg back. And then I kind of adjust myself a little bit. I'm kind of leaning it out, but eventually what you're trying to do is shoulder over your hip. Now, again, make it feel comfortable. Okay, that back leg, maybe be on curly toes as best you can. And, or your tennis shoes, yes. So you may be feeling some stuff going on already. For a little bit more, just a little bit, you squeeze the behind that's closest to me, the leg that's off the chair, press into that forward foot. And then if you want more, shift your behind forward a little bit. Woo! If you want a back bend with this, raise an arm up. Press into the floor, squeeze the behind, shift the behind forward. Leave some of that out if you like. And relax and release. Take that back leg next to the other leg. Let's go over to the other side. Here we go. I got a squeaky chair today. Wait, I got a squeaky chair every day. What does that say about my chairs? They're squeaky. Okay. Take your other bun off. And, I hang on to my chair also. And again, I'm looking. There's my shoulder over my hip. Maybe I can wiggle that leg more back. Maybe I'll wiggle it more in. More in, you're probably going to get less sensation. So kind of find your sweet spot there, okay? Okay, once you're positioned, squeeze the bun that's closest to me or the bun that's off the chair. Press into that forward leg. Hang on to the chair or hand on the leg. Woo! If you want more, shift the behind forward, that outside behind forward a little bit. Woo! Maybe the arm goes up, maybe not. I'm hanging onto the chair with the other hand though. Again, a little back bend going on here when we're doing that hip complex contraction strengthening movement. I'm shaking. And release. Yay. Yay. Bring it back to the center. From here, just kind of stomp those feet. And let's do sumo stomp. Take one leg out to the side and then back to the center. Notice if you're feeling some stuff going on with that hip when you do that. So this is your functional move of getting in and out of the car if you're the passenger, if you're the driver. A little bone building with the stomp, that's optional. Some of us with plantar fasciitis or neuromas in the feet, this might be feeling spicy. So maybe you don't do this. You just do a soft landing. That's okay too. And then bring it to the center. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Compare this side to the other one. Does this one feel easier to do? Is there more knee up? Kind of range of motion going on here. Imagine there's like a little golf ball on the floor and you're raising the leg up and over so you don't step on the golf ball. Okay? Woo! Two more. And last one. Very good. So we already did cat-cow when we did some of the standing stuff with our breathing and with our interlacing the hands forward and back. But let's do the other 6 essential spinal movements. One of them is called side lateral flexion. Again, I'm away from the back of the chair. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then bring one hand, sneak it behind you, be on your wrist or your fist. I'm usually on my wrist. And on my feet firm into the floor. And then inhale, reach a little bit more. Now, from our hip to our armpit to our hand bone, reach up and over. Try to keep both buns on the chair. Now that bun that is our opposite bun, maybe a little bit less weighted into the chair. You may notice that. Bring it back on up and down. Notice if you felt any spiciness kind of going in that side body maybe. So let's do that again, other side. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. Sneak the hand behind you. All right, here we go. We're going to reach a little bit more. Stretching from the hip to the armpit to the hand. Lean that side body over. Going to reach up. Again, your elbow may be bent depending on what spiciness you're encountering today. Okay, bring it back to the center and down. Let's do the unsupported twist. So typically in a yoga class, they'll say, take a hand over to the opposite leg and twist. Don't do that if you have back pain because you know you're going to do more than you should. We do unsupported twists. We use the thoracic spine for this. So we do the letter W with our arms and squeeze the shoulders towards the spine. So you feel that upper back musculature kind of contracting here. I call this the letter W with the hands. Then we breathe in, belly big. And as we exhale, we contract that belly button to keep the chin aligned with the chest and turn over to one side of the room. Now keep the legs stable. You may lose your outside shoulder, so re-squeeze it. Breathe in, belly big. Belly button tight, bring it back to the center. Stay here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, twist over to the other side. Notice if it feels more twisty. More twisty? Sure. Breathe in, belly big. Re-squeeze the shoulders. Exhale, back to the center and release. Let's just kind of do shoulder up and downs. Very good. And we'll do the standing portion of the class next with the chair. And so here we go. We're going to stand up, and I'm going to move one chair over to the side a little bit. Go ahead and put my block on the chair. And with the other one, I'm going to turn it to where I'm facing the back of the chair. So you don't have to turn it sideways. I'm just doing this for the camera. You can do that facing me, okay? So from here, standing up close to the back of the chair, and I'm going to step. You know what? I need to move this chair out of the way a little bit. Okay. I'm going to step my foot back and then lay down on the heel. And with that other leg, you know, I'm going to hop it a little bit more close to the back of the chair and bend the leg closer to the chair, bend that knee. And I'm trying to not lean forward. I'm trying to have my shoulder over my hip as best I can. So there's a little back bend going on here a bit. Whatever leg you step back, that same side arm comes up or not. It may not be happening. That's okay too. You may be noticing shifting side to side maybe. Bring the hand down, bend that back knee, step it forward. Let's do the other side. Same distance back if you can. Come on the ball of the foot, lay on the heel. Once you get that going, then you bend the forward knee. Again, shoulder over the hip. Now, again, whatever foot you stepped back, same side arm goes up. There's that back bend element right there. You might notice a little bit easier breathing with this little back bend element, a little bit more opening up of the lungs. Maybe not. Bring the hand down. Excuse me. Step that back foot forward. We'll do the same thing again, but maybe you can step it back a little bit more. So step it back and then a little bit more, maybe a little bit more, and come down to laying on that heel. And then we're going to bend the forward knee. Maybe it's a little bit more hip activation, quadricep, glute, hamstring, calf, definitely the calf, yeah. Maybe some balance challenge. I'm swaying side to side. And again, arm can go up. Now, if this feels too wiggly, you can take the forward leg, heel toe it out a little wider. Just notice that that feels better for your balance ability. Here we go. Maybe you can release the chair, maybe not. All right, take the hand down, take that back foot, lean forward, step it forward. Let's do the other side. So this is part of our sciatica soothing. Step the other leg back. Here we go. And a little bit more. And a little bit more. Lay down on that back heel. Bend the forward knee. Woo! Notice if you feel any difference there. Again, if you can, same side arm can go up. Notice if you need to take the other leg, heel toe it outward to have a better balance stance going on here. Again, strong heel into the floor. Bend that forward knee, shoulders over the hips. So get that nice line. Don't be leaning forward, okay? Nice line, shoulder over the hips. Take that back foot, lift that heel, hop, step it towards the back of the chair. Now we're going to do this again. We're going to do where we kind of tuck, roll that tailbone under. So again, same first leg steps back the regular distance. And then with this one, we're going to come up on the ball of the foot. Now, we're going to take our behind and curve it under. So you can put your hand on your behind and tell it to curve, okay? Whoa. Whatever leg you stepped back, same side arm goes up. There may be some shaking, some wiggling going on here. You may be feeling it in a little different areas with that curled, tucked under tailbone, yeah? And release. Maybe a little bit more strength going on with the top of the leg. Take that back foot, step it forward. Other side, step it back. Whoops, I want to be on my heel. Nope. Roll up on the ball of the foot. Very good. Again, take that behind, roll it under to where you're going to feel it more in the front of the hip of that other leg. Same side arm, maybe goes up, maybe wiggles a bit. Mine does. Mine's doing this little trembling thing going on here because it's kind of isolating a particular muscle in the front of the leg, the quadricep, one of the heads of the quadricep. Woo! And bring the hand down, bring that back foot to the back of the chair. So that kind of flosses that sciatic nerve, that particular thing. But we got to work up to it. Now, I'm going to bring the chair to face you now and move this one out of the way. We're going to do some simple leg sweeps out to the side, standing behind the chair. So I'm standing behind the chair, and basically we're going to just take the leg out to the side and in. Okay, so out to the side and in. I've got a little flex in my heel. Woo. Do as many as you can comfortably. Go at your own speed. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now we've got to do the other side. So here we go. Out to the other side. Notice if you feel different, one side versus the other. If you've been told you have a leg that's longer, shorter than the other, you may notice differences. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, oh my, and 1. Very good. Shake the legs, shake the arms. Very good. Next is a psoas strengthening movement. So what we do with that one, we turn the heel out, toes in, and we bring the leg out and across with that firm heel out, toe in. All right, you got maybe step back behind a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to heel out, toe in. I'm going to bring it across first. That might seem easier, and then swing it out. Ooh. Ah. Feel that squeeze of the psoas muscle. If you don't know what that psoas muscle was before, you do now. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. You know what? Shake it. This class is known for shaking. Let's do the other one. Okay, heel out, toe in, away from the back of the chair, away from the wall. Let's bring it across and swing it out. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Woo! I'm trying to do this with control. It gets spicy. Ah! Okay, 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Yay! Shake it out. Very good. So the next one is the toe is out, and once we bring it across, the toe goes, so we move the foot. Toe out, toe in, toe out, toe in. So this kind of lubricates that ball socket, that hip joint, okay? It might be fun. So toe out, toe in. So once it crosses that middle, you switch it going out and in. Woo. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it. You do little heel stomps into the floor, little miniature marching. All right, other side. So start with toe out, and then when you go across the center, toe in. Toe out, toe in. Oops, I got to go away from the back of the chair. There you go. I don't want to hit the chair. Go at your own speed. Woo, 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Little miniature, little heel up and downs. All right, so I'm going to take my chair out to the side here and bring the other one close by. So this is the what do they call this? The 3-point stepping drill. We do this in chair. We do this in Tai Chi, but we don't do this in chair Tai Chi. So we're going to take our toes towards the back of the chair, maybe angled more a little bit, and then we bend the knees, kind of tuck the tailbone under, and then we bring the heel forward, toe up, back to the ankle, out to the side, heel down, toe up, back to the ankle, and then point the toe back behind you. Feel that squeeze of the glute muscle. Very good. Back to the ankle. Here we go. Heel down, toe up, ankle, out to the side, ankle, point the toe back behind you. Very good. One more time. Heel down, toe up, ankle. This also flosses the sciatica, by the way. Out to the side, ankle, point it back behind you, ankle. Woo! All right, so if you sank and settle down into the leg next to the chair, we just got to swing that leg a little bit. Don't hit the wall. I'm pretty close to the wall there. To release that tension that was building up in that three-point sit. Sink, tuck that tailbone in. Here we go, other side, or you go to the other side of the chair, okay? Bend the knees, sink down, tuck the tailbone under, and then we're going to bring a leg forward, the outside leg forward. Heel up. No, heel down, toe up. Sorry about that. Back to the ankle, out to the side. Woo! Back to the ankle, and then point the toe back behind you. Kind of feel that hip flexor there too. Back to the ankle. Again, heel down, toe up. Yeah, you got it right. Back to the ankle, out to the side. Back to the ankle. If you feel that wiggliness going on, point the toe back behind you. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. One more set. Here we go. Heel down, toe up. Very good. Back to the ankle, out to the side. Woo! Back to the ankle. Point that toe back behind you. Squeeze. The other knee is bent. Everything's tucked under. Very good. Back to the ankle. Come out of the pose. That inside leg, let's swing it. Let's release it. Feel that pressure building in. It's good for bursitis, balancing, and getting ready to walk. Very good. Very nice. And again, let's just kind of shake, 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 shake. Bone density shaking. Move that lymph. Oxygenate your blood. Stimulate the thymus, that T cell production with this one. All right, now let's go back to Golden Rooster. Again, you can do that seated like we did before or like we did standing. So we're going to turn towards the side of the chair, bend both knees, tuck it under. We're going to raise the same elbow up, bend that knee, point that toe down. Notice if you notice anything different. So I don't feel pain in that hip any longer for me. Again, it's opposite hand and leg if you're doing this seated. And release it. Step over to the other side of the chair or the other chair. That's why I use two chairs. Bend the knees, tuck it under, bend the elbow up, belly button tight, raise that leg, point that toe down. Notice if it's easier to go higher. If you were lower, notice if there's less sensation going on. Notice if there's more wiggly. There's more wiggly. And release. Step it over to the other side of the chair or the other chair. Bend the knees. Tuck the tailbone under. Very good. Bend the elbow. Lift that leg. Point the toe down. Maybe you can release the chair. Ooh, it's happening. Oh my gosh. Not for very long though. And bring it down. Step it out. And again, bend the knees. Tuck it under. Very good. Bend the elbow. Bend the knee. Raise that leg up. Point that toe down if you can. Press firmly into the chair or maybe release the chair. Notice what you notice. Whoa. And release. Again, shake it out a little bit. From here, turn those chairs sideways. Let's do our forward and backwards walking. Again, I was telling you all about why we do this. It strengthens our back, our leg, our glutes. Those muscles that you don't work when you walk forward, so it works the muscles behind, okay? So, also helps to improve your balance. So again, shake a little bit. Then notice your feet. Just notice what you notice, okay? Then we're going to step a foot forward, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. You may look at your feet. Are they pointed somewhat in the same direction, or is one more out, like really out or not? Again, no judgment here. Just notice what you notice. Then take the forward foot, go toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. There's the wall. And again, look at your feet. Notice what you notice. I've got one that kind of tucks my ankle in a little bit. That's just how it is, yeah? Take your back foot, step it forward. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. And then do toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Now, whatever leg is forward, switch it, okay? Then you take the back new leg, step it forward. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, or I just did a flat foot on that one. Notice if you walk flat foot, or if you are able to do the toe heel, or heel toe. Let's do the other way. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. All right, take that back foot, go heel toe. Very good. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. I just realized I was saying toe heel the whole time, right? Okay. All right, forward foot, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Switch the feet. Switching the feet. Now, we're going to take the new backwards leg and do heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. And then one more time, step the forward foot back, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. So the objective is to try to keep that head looking forward while you do this. Do this at the kitchen counter, down the hallway, backwards and forwards. I often, with safety, will walk down the stairs backwards. So I'm always like tapping the step, and then, stepping down, tapping the step when I go walking backwards. So I just do that sometimes just to practice, those muscles in the backside of the body. Very good. So the next one is sit to stand. So I hope you all have been doing the homework. So those of you that are new, we have 3 things we do homework on. Walking forwards and backwards, doing sit to stand, and that clamshell that we did seated, or lying on your side doing clamshell. I demonstrated that last time after class was over. So basically, I'm going to show this with you. What you will do is put your chair up against the wall. So you're not going to go shifting anyway, and then you have another chair in front of you. But let me demonstrate this with my carpet and with my chair in front of me. I don't want to have it too close because sometimes I really hinge forward and I don't want to bonk my nose on the chair. Well, that would be funny, but let's not do that. So the sit to stand is hands on the shoulders. That may not be happening. You may have to have hands on the legs and to help push yourself up. That's also a good way to get up and down, yeah? So next time you go to the restroom, notice how you lower down to the toilet. Notice how you raise up, okay? And you can have hands on the chair. So if you're not able to do this with hands on the shoulders easily, and I do it with a grunt because that's how it is, to practice it to build up those muscles, hands on the chair. You can go as safe, as slow as possible. But one of the statistics is, can you do 10 to 12 of these at the age of 60 and older in 30 seconds without the hands, with the hands on the shoulders? So if you're able to do 10 to 12, then that's an indication that you are strong in that lower body and you are not likely to fall. But if you have numbers that are less than that, then your percentage of likelihood of falling goes up, okay? How do you build up that? You do chair sit to stands. All right, one more wherever you are. And then I'm going to come up to the front of the room. You may have noticed your heart rate went up, up, up. So when you do sit to stands, you're using the major muscle groups in your body to do that. The glutes, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, the calves, the bottoms of the feet. I guess if you're using your hands on your legs, you're using a little bit of arm strength too. So again, notice what you're doing when you lower and rise up off of a chair, whether it's a dining chair or if it's the toilet. Yeah, just notice what you notice. From here, let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and then exhale, float it down. Trying to get that heart rate down a little bit. Again, breathe in, circle it up, and exhale. Again, breathe in and exhale. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Please, if you would, write a review or be sure to fill out that survey. That way we keep these classes free here on Veterans Yoga Project Online Studio. One more time, breathe in and bring the hands to heart center. From here, breathe in, belly big, As you exhale, belly button tight. Push the hands one direction, turn the head the other. Swimming dragon. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, return it back to the center. Stay here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push the other direction. Again, stay here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, back to the center. From here, let's clap the hands. Warm up the hands a little bit. Maybe you're going to squish them. And from here, let's tap, tap, tap the tips of the fingers and bring it up the side of the body. And tilt your head, get into that shoulder. Ooh, we need that. Palm up, bring it down the front. Again, tap, tap, tap the tips of the fingers. And let's go to the outside of the arm, into the shoulder. Tilt that head. Ooh, that feels nice. Bring it down the center. Clap the hands again. Rub some heat, some circulation into those hands. I love it. And let's do the other side. So tap, tap, tap the tips of the fingers. That's 5 different meridians in our body, traditional Chinese medicine. Bring it up the side, tilt the head, get into that shoulder, and then bring it down the inside. Again, tap, tap, tap the tips of the fingers. We're clearing blocked energy meridians into the shoulder. Palm up, bring it down the center. Rub those hands once again. Hug the arms into the side of the body. Make fists. Squeeze those shoulders. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. 2 more. Open, close, open, close. Let's shrug the shoulders towards the ears. And funnily enough, turn halfway to the side. It looks funny. Upper body strength building going on here. Dowager's hump prevention and release. Woo! Return it back to the center. Again, wear your shoulders as earrings. Hug them up. Hug, hug, hug. Squeeze those armpits. Very nice. Turn halfway to the other side. Looks weird. Feels weird, but it's very beneficial, okay? And then release. Yay. Bring it back down to the center. Take the hand, spread it out like a little starfish, and bring it out to the side. And then I lower my arm a little bit, and I turn my thumb to the back of the room. So you're going to feel activation of that arm. I'm going to take my opposite ear, drop it towards my shoulder, and then lift my chin to where the wall meets the ceiling. And then from here, we're going to draw a half circle or a smile. So bring your chin to the chest slowly, and then towards that extended arm side, and then back down to the chest, and towards that opposite side, and release. Very good. It's called spread the feathers. Good for opening up more blood flow to the brain. Always a bonus, yeah? Other side, spread them out, and then lower that arm a little bit. Turn that thumb to the back of the room. Then take your ear bone. We have an ear bone, right? Yeah. Drop it towards your shoulder, and then lift the chin to where the wall meets the ceiling. Kind of look where the wall meets the ceiling there. And then we're going to take this chin towards our chest and that other side. So here we go. Slowly towards your chest, and then slowly towards the same side, arm extended out, and then back down to your chest. Here we go. And towards that opposite direction, and release. Very nice. From here, let's clap the hands once again. Rub some heat into the hands. Let's take this and tap our brain. So tap the head. Kind of go down the mohawk, yeah? And then take it to the sides. And then get that little bumpy part in the back of the head. So there's lots of meridians that travel through all different areas of the skull. So again, we're trying to clear energy blockages. Plus this is good for, again, the brain. Very nice. Now let's settle back into our chair just for a moment here. Settle back. Very good. Probably feels comfortable now. My knees are a little wide here, and that's okay. And you can either cross at the ankles or have the feet wide, whatever feels a little bit more comfortable. And maybe you want to slouch a little bit. Sometimes maybe your slouch feels better than going up for a nice tall posture. Again, kind of go to that comfort place where it does not feel icky, okay? No icky. And from here, let's either, close the eyes or gaze softly at some point at the floor. Maybe chin a little tucked in, yeah? Breathing in. Breathing out. Noticing the sensation of support of being here on the chair. So you notice the pressure of the back of the legs, the behind, the lower, mid, maybe a little bit of the upper back. Notice the sensation of support of the feet on the floor. Again, feeling very weighted, very grounded into that surface that's supporting us today. Just notice this feeling connected, okay? Breathe in, the belly expands, the chest expands a little bit. And as you exhale, everything just kind of goes back to its normal resting place. And again, breathe in, expand that belly. Beautiful. And exhale. Now, notice the front places of the body. Maybe you feel air coming across your arms, your hands, maybe your throat, your feet, your legs, your face. The arms are light, the legs are light. The whole front places of the body feel light and feathery compared to the places in the back side of the body where you're feeling supported, where you're feeling grounded and weighted into that surface that's supporting you. Again, notice the difference between the front places of the body and then the back places of the body. Very good. Then we're going to kind of wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, kind of come back into the now, back into the present moment. Then I invite you to kind of scoot forward a little bit in your chair. And my knees are wide because we're going to do this wide shoulder circle. So very slowly, we're going to bring it forward, over to the side. Ooh. It's kind of like hip circles, but we do this with the shoulders instead. I have a spicy area over here on that right. So I'm going to kind of hang out on my right side, kind of go back and forth a little bit, kind of lubricate movement into the spicy area. And then I'm going to continue with my circle. You may have other areas that you're feeling a little bit of spice, yeah? And kind of, again, hang out in those areas just a little bit and then continue your movement. Now, let's try and go the other direction and maybe feel different. So go the other direction. Here we go. Notice if it feels different. Maybe, yeah, it feels different on this side. Doesn't feel as spicy when I go the other direction. And maybe it feels the same, okay? It could. I love it. Very good. Now, very softly, come back to the center. We're going to take an opposite shoulder. We're going to turn towards the opposite knee and then hinge forward a little bit. Kind of lead with your chin a little bit. Both buns on the chair now. Don't come slipping that opposite behind off very much. Then come back on up, back to the center. Now we're going to turn towards the other knee and then hinge forward a little bit. Always within comfort, okay? Always with comfort. Again, I'm feeling a little bit of spice in that back behind, but it is what it is, yeah? And then bring it back on up. So we're going to end our class with our traditional sayings. So you can bring the hands stacked or hands together, place them here at your heart center, and let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or at least an idea of gratitude. So some folks are going, oh, I can't think of anything. Well, that's okay. Maybe you just have an idea of gratitude. That works too. So kind of clasp that, grasp that, whatever you're grateful for, and let's place it here at our heart center. And just for you showing up today, let's go ahead and drop our chin a little bit towards our heart center in gratitude of just showing up today, yeah? Again, thinking about what you're grateful for, that idea of gratitude or gratitude for just showing up. That works also. Very good. Then you can keep your chin towards your chest, or you can gaze your eyes open or closed forward towards the front of the room, towards me if you like. And I'll say our traditional sayings to end our class. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of chair yoga for fall prevention, or fall prevention yoga using 2 chairs. I'm going to stop the recording.